Today we have
Baer.
Michael Baer, and you're from the peninsula.
Yeah. I've lived on the peninsula on and off for over 30 years.
Today we're going to be talking about this, and is it an amendment to the?
It's a declaration to the Board of Supervisors to support the constitutional order. I have a partner that I wrote this with, whose name is Nancy, and when we were watching what ICE was doing in Los Angeles and Portland and Minneapolis, when I got to Minneapolis, and just, the Constitution doesn't allow for ICE to do what they're doing, to wear masks, to not have IDs, and to pick people up off the streets as anonymous people. You're supposed to get a warrant from a judge if you're going to go after someone for immigration. And so it's a complete violation of our constitutional order. So Nancy and I decided we would write a document and where the county supervisors would say we defend the Constitution, and we are going to do some things to combat this illegal activity.
You and Nancy drafted these documents, and then you were going to have the Board of Supervisors consider taking a vote on it?
Right, to approve it. And so in order to be able to bring it to the supervisors, you need to get one of the supervisors to become the sponsor. Supervisor Wendy Root Askew, who's the chair this year, decided that this was worthy, and she had to make some adjustments to the language, but it's basically the same idea. There's 4 things, and then, as I said, Supervisor Root Askew rewrote the language a little bit, so that's the document here. And the 4 things are, first, to reaffirm that you swore that oath. Reaffirm your oath to the Constitution, to defend the residents of the county, which are your constituents, using the Constitution as your guide. So that's number 1, that we reaffirm our oath. Number 2 is we condemn ICE coming in with masks, no warrants, and just taking people off the streets without 4th Amendment due process, 8th Amendment cruel and unusual punishment. You have rights, and in the Constitution, and the supervisors need to work to defend those. And then also to write a letter to all the House members, the congressional House members in the state of California, to ask them to do their job. Don't let, you have the power of the purse. You have the power to declare war. And whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you swore an oath. And you need to assert that power and not let President Trump just trample on it. Because we don't have kings in this country. And then also to work with the California State Attorney General. His name is Rob Bonta, and he's a true patriot. He's fighting for the people. He follows the oath. He's done a lot to try and protect the citizens of California. Not just citizens, the residents, all Californians. And so in this declaration, we're asking the county to work even, to continue to work closely, but to reaffirm their commitment to working with the state attorney general to protect the residents of this county. So there's nothing in this that costs money, right? There's no budget to this. It's just a reaffirmation and of where we stand, and that the county saying, these illegal acts and unconstitutional acts, we don't abide by them. We believe in the constitutional order, and we declare our support for the Constitution. And it got interrupted by a person who's known as the CAO, who's it's the County Administrative Officer, who's like the city manager for the cities. The County Administrative Officer, that's her job.
Yeah, her name is Sonia De La Rosa.
Sonia De La Rosa. And so when I'm going to just say Supervisor Wendy, that's her first name. It's easier to say. And so she submitted this in a timely fashion, And so the county administrator, Sonia de la Rosa, said, well, you didn't do it in the right way, so we can't do it. It was going to be heard on April 14th. And she said, you didn't do it in the right way, so we're going to pull it from that. And also this language is there's too much substance to this. She rewrote it in such a way where she took out almost 100% of the words, 98% she crossed out and wrote her own declaration, which instead of those things that we asked the county to do, said, oh, we're going to celebrate Constitution Day on September 17th and say, and we're going to work to, teach children more about the Constitution or encourage, the Constitution to be, taught. And that's not what we were asking. We're asking for protection from ICE coming into our county. That's what we're asking, not to teach the Constitution to kids and or other people. And so it was really a slap in the face. It was a slap in the face. No, you can't do this. That's beyond our authority as a county. It's beyond our authority as a county, was really what she said. What's in our authority is to say, hey, the Constitution's great.
Yeah.
And so,
and I just want to add, so there are other counties that have adopted similar similar declarations.
So we're part of a national effort. There's a group, it's called Hopium Chronicles, and they're trying to do this all over the country. And they are, and there's over 100 that have begun, and close to 30 that have passed in different places around. And mostly, they don't always call them county supervisors; they have different names, but they do have counties. And so they've passed in a lot of counties and cities around the country, and only 2 in California so far. And one is Santa Cruz, right next to us, Santa Cruz County, and the other one is West Hollywood.
West Hollywood. Interesting.
Has passed it. So, and it is being worked on in places around Sacramento, and I know of at least, I think, 4 or 5 other places in California where this is trying to happen. So we're trying to figure out what to do next. We just found this slap in the face just happened last week. They have something called general public comment, where anybody, you don't have to be a citizen, can go before the county supervisors when they meet and speak for 2 minutes about any business related to the county that's not on their agenda for the day. So what I think we want to do, go before the county supervisors and say, no, we didn't ask for this. We're asking for you to do something real. And this is unacceptable, and then if ICE does come to town, we don't have anything to stand on. This is a way to, it's a small step, but it's an important step. And the county slapped us down, even with the support of the chair of the board, who is the boss of Ms. De La Rosa. There's an organizational chart here, which I think you're going to shows the people on top, then the supervisors, then the county administrator. We'd like to get a lot of people in the room. Maybe the next opportunity is May 12th. And coming up a couple of Tuesdays from now, and we just probably, they set the agenda. Sometimes it's around 9 or 9:30, or sometimes they're in closed session till 10:30. So depending on what their agenda's like, we find out the week before what time. And if we were just take our 2 minutes, me and my partner and anybody else who wants to speak, but just to have people in the room, so I could say, see all these people in the room? They support what we're doing. And if we can get 40 or 50 or 100 people to stand up in that room, that gets their attention, because those people are their voters. They work for those people. And it's not just me and Nancy that have this idea, like people in the county know about it, throughout the county, anywhere in the county. And they want you to do the right thing. So that's why we're having this talk.
Yeah. And I encourage anybody, May 12th, show up if you can. Right. You don't have to make a comment, but it's nice if you make a comment. If not, we just need the people in the room to show Miss Sonia De La Rosa that we do mean business.
And her bosses, the supervisors.
Yeah, and the supervisors, that this is very essential, this is very important, and this is very reasonable. And I just want to thank you for coming out here and making the point. And thank you for putting this together, because it seems to me like like a lot of the people on the peninsula are supporting this fight against ICE. It really makes me feel proud of our local community here to know that our brothers and our sisters from the peninsula are here in this fight with us. You know, we're all fighting the same battle against injustice, and this is a battle for the Constitution, for upholding the Constitution and our Bill of Rights.
Right.
You know, and yeah, thank you, Michael. I appreciate all the effort that you're doing, and for coming out here and for trying to organize this call to action.
Right.
You know, and it's very important that we stand in solidarity against this administration. All right. Well, like I said, May 12th.